Da so se je ta je lo chu zo ro ji lo to so che lan lo ji lo to so lan chu ba so ji lo to so chu ba yi so ne ji da ban da la ma zo lo ji zo jo ji zo ji lo da la ma zo lo ji zo jo na so ban da la ma zo lo ji zo da ba da ro ji lo to so to ji ro ji zhe de cha je chen be jo je won ro chen de yin lo to ba ji lo to so san je ko na zo la ma la ku song ko ba cha ba cha zo de men ro shi ba da se da to ba nyam ba chen je lo. Okay, good morning. We are continuing under this book, Jewel Treasure of Advice. And basically, I mean, every text, if you look the text, basically stage of the path. Every teaching is you can see the step by step, everything's on this one too. So right now we are at the stage of the Mahamudra. So Mahamudra is the name of the view in the Buddhism, like in the Theravada tradition called the Eight Noble Path. Eight Noble Path, from the Eight Noble Path, the most important is called the right view. Without the right view, and the rest of other is not going to useful to liberation. So it's just like you need to see the path to that way your foot can take step. If you have no eye, you cannot see actually really road. So that way you're wandering around and around. So other practice like morality, generosity, patience, those kind of practices, we do it like constantly. But they not become a path to the liberation. Reason is we are lack of the view of eye, a view of wisdom eye. So that reason is not become a path too. So from the Eight Noble Path is most important is called the right view, and the rest of the is become a support of that. So so in the Buddha's called the three what called them the Sutta of the recollection of the three jewels, and the Buddha is called the Rigpa the Shabsundeba. Buddha's name is Rigpa's quality. Buddha's quality. Rigpa the Shabsundeba mean the Rigpa mean the awareness. Shabsundeba mean the ground. So Rigpa is talking about the right view. Shabsundeba mean the talking about the ground. That right view is a trouble on the right ground. So the ground is the rest of the seven noble path. The of the awareness is the noble path of the view. So same way in the Mahayana tradition called the six paramita. Six paramitas, they are generosity, moral, ethic, and the rest of things. But without the wisdom, rest of a paramita, the other five paramita is like a blind, So all other five paramita can be becoming path to the liberation if it is supported by the wisdom. Without the wisdom, rest of the five paramita not necessarily going to be path to the liberation. If you look this way, like a practice of the generosity, by alone practice of generosity itself is only can give you some kind of a result of the wealth, no more than that. Same as a morality. Morality alone only can reach you the reborn in the higher realm. There's no total complete path of the liberation, morality alone. Same as a patient perseverance and meditative consultations. So even the meditation, lots of people think, oh, the meditation give you nirvana. Meditation alone cannot give you nirvana. Highest one can go through the meditation is a formless realm. That is still in the samsara. If the meditation is not supported by the wisdom. So five paramitas alone, highest one is it can get to the formless realm. No further than that can go. So need the wisdom to actually free from samsara. Make sense? So that wisdom as a name in the Vajrayana, like Ukajiva we call him a Mahamudra, and Nima they call the Dzogchen, And the Sajya, they call the Korde Yeme. Korde Yeme means the non-distinguished of the samsara and nirvana, inseparable of samsara and nirvana. They just name, but meaning is the same. All they practice in Panchana Paramita. You know, so that without this Panchana Paramita practice, there's no complete path. You can do lots of ritual, you can do lots of recitation mantra, you can do lots of things. It only can give you mundane power, cannot give you liberation. Because those ritual, recitation mantra, meditation, they cannot uproot the afflicted emotion. Only suppress. Suppress? Yeah, suppress. Only suppress, not uprooted. This is like a rest of the practice is like a forest is caught on the fire. When forest caught on the fire, look like everything burn out, yeah? But roots still there. The day then wonder whether it's a better, lots of rain, and soil is slowly recover from their what called the nutrition and whatever is necessary, tree will come back. So roots still there, even completely burn out the fire forest. So the same way, through the meditation and morality and ritual and recitation mantra, that kind of things can make look like we are free from the afflicted emotion. But no, the roots still down there. So how completely can eliminate it from there, free from there is a wisdom. So wisdom is the main method. And so that reason in the Buddhism, when you have to, is it hypothetically, if you have to choose one of two, okay, morality or wisdom, you have to choose a wisdom. Wisdom is more important than the morality. So when Vajrayana high level practice comes, they actually what called violated Vinaya. They do that. Mini Mahasiddha, they did. Saraha violated Vinaya. You know, first of all, how you know, say, look his dress. He totally give up his robe. That's the first violation of the Vinaya. Tiluba, Naroba, they drink, you know, alcohol, and they totally remove their. So, according to the Vinaya, actually, that's a violation. But still, it's not really violated. Why? Because they have a better than Vinaya, I can say deeper than Vinaya, as they more focus on the wisdom. So outlook, I can say outlookly, they are violated for the Vinaya. Because Vinaya is the most important, really important is outlook. But when it comes to the compare of the Vinaya, and if you have to choose only one, Vinaya and wisdom, you have to choose the wisdom. Why? Because Vinaya only give you higher realm, but wisdom give you liberation. So there's one Indian master called the Arya Deva. He said, if you broke the morality, it is okay. It's not big deal, because the morality only can give you the higher realm. But if you broke the wisdom, then it's really what call them? There's no restore, because the wisdom can give you the nirvana. So then someone asked me to, how come if you have a, you know, if you don't have a morality, you don't have a foundation of the wisdom, cannot have a wisdom without the morality. I'm not talking about the moral, what call this? Moral conduct? Yeah, compared to the moral and immoral. Yes, you need the moral, but you don't need to follow to the complete Vinaya system. Yeah, Because when you come to the higher level, then the Vinaya, even you violating some part of the Vinaya, like not using toxicant, like not you know in the Vinaya, you're not allowed to drink any part of alcohol. But when you get into the certain level, you're allowed to do those things, taking consult. Those things, but you have to know the timing. It will come later, timing. If you don't, they do those without the timing, there come problem. So what I'm saying is, in the Buddhism's most important part of the practice is the wisdom. But you can say, oh, wisdom is the most important. I don't need other things. Then you will have other things. If you don't have other things, I mean, you don't have wisdom. You know, you cannot say, oh, I just need the house. I don't need the foundation. It's impossible. Make sense? But what I'm saying is you can violate Vinaya, mean the outlook Vinaya. Make sense? So Khenpo Rinpoche said one time, in Tibet, I think one of the purest, monk is Milarepa. But outlookly, he's not monk. He have long hair. He's wearing, white clothes and things like that. He never looked like a monk. He never been the monk's community. But ethically, he is the most pure ethic ever. You're not going to find any monk live like him. Totally renounce. Make sense? There nothing. Milarepa not own any monastery, not a center, not a possession, nothing. He had only one part. Yes. That is his position. So there's no good to find any pure than renunciation, pure than that one. Make sense? So that way, when come to the actually moral, actually Milarepa have a more pure moral than all those Mahasi, they have a greatest pure moral. But what I'm saying is you can violate the Vinaya, like a dressing, like sudden, things that you have to do that is not necessarily have to do. But when come to the actually true moral, then those Mahasiddha are more pure monk than monk in the monastery who are wearing nice dress. Make sense? So that is what I'm talking about. That you have to find the gap there. This is differential. So one of the Indian Mahasiddha called the Birwapa. In the Sajya tradition, he is really important. So he was an abbot of the monastery. So daytime, he is leading the monks' monastery, live as a monk. Nighttime, he practiced the Vajrayogini. One day, he actually accomplishing the Mahasiddha realization, supreme realization called the Mahamudra. So that day he gave up his robe. He wearing the yogic, bone ornament, and those he's carrying the skull cap and going around town to town begging alcohol, and people call him. I think Birwa is maybe in the Sanskrit word is some kind of like a crazy, mad. So then he said, until yesterday, I wasn't really pure monk. But after yesterday, now, after today, I'm most pure monk. At that time, he now wearing monk's robes. So that way, when certain time, you cannot violate all of those other things. But there's no place you cannot violate the wisdom. Make sense? So without the wisdom, there's nothing. There's no Buddhism. So another way is we can look. I don't think so. You need translation because there are no Spanish, and I don't see. What do you think?
I don't see anyone either.
Yeah. So just leave. So look this way. Now I'm distracted. I'm going to say something. Okay, I'm doing my coffee. Maybe it come back. Now it's gone. Okay, it may come back. So that reason, like teaching like a Mahamudra, those are, oh yeah, now it come back, Thank God, it come back. Thank you, Jesus is come back. So this is why we're in the samsara. What makes us in samsara? Samsara, because we have a conceptual or dualistic creating the emotion, good, bad, yeah, like, dislike, friend, enemy. This all is a come because of the we have dualistic conceptual make us samsaric. So if we want to be free from samsara, we must reach to the wisdom that can see as a non-duality. So our goal is in non-duality. Only non-duality can give you the liberation from the samsara. So that is the wisdom. So our goal is non-duality. How to reach that goal, non-duality? Then through the understanding of the true truth, relative truth and absolute truth. So that is what we keeping practicing is reaching that non-duality. So if we don't have that goal, then we do practice. It's just a round goal, like a dog and cats, playing around like object. They just circle round and round, never get anywhere. You can circle there forever, not go anywhere. So if we don't have that, aim, then we just stay round. Like it's normally people call that, just driving around. It means that you just drive around your neighborhood. You have no aim of want to go anywhere, and end up coming back to your own driveway. Yeah, you drive around, then they come back to your driveway. So that's called the driving around. But if you have aim, then you not come back to your driving way. You will go directly there. You may take break, you may take stop, but your aim is to go there. So one day you will reach there. So what is our aim of the practicing is a non-dual wisdom. That is the view called in the Eight Noble Path is called the right view. I mean, every concept about our thought is a view, it's a view. Like somebody said, coffee is delicious. That's my view. Someone said, oh, coffee is a really horrible taste. That's your view. Everyone have a view, long as you have a conceptual. But not necessarily all those views are right. But when it comes to this noble truth, it's always be right. Why? Because look, Buddha's teachings have been more than 2,500 years ago. Still, you can feel like it's fresh. Still, it's always be truth. You're not going to find any false. You can ask any kind of researcher, try to find any faults in the Buddhism. If they find the faults in the Buddhism, you can, even with Buddhism, we said, okay, I'm not going to no longer going to follow on this because this is a mistake. Buddha himself said, even my word, if there's a mistake, you can reject. Buddha himself gave a permission. It means it's just analyzing your own, using your own awareness to wisdom to, make sure it's correct what I said. My word is not for the respect. My word is for the practice. If you want to practice, you have to understand. So this reason, this view. So in our Kagyu tradition, that view is named as a Mahamudra. So Mahamudra is divided into three, called the ground Mahamudra, path Mahamudra, result Mahamudra. So ground Mahamudra itself is called the Buddha nature. The Buddha nature is the ground Mahamudra. So every sentient being have this ground Mahamudra. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter body size, doesn't matter, realm, doesn't matter which state, doesn't matter gender or age, that everyone have equally same nature, every sentient being. Because of that nature, we have hope to liberation. If we don't have that nature, we have no hope. That is the main seed of becoming Buddha. So then, but even having that nature, it cannot say, oh, I have that nature, I'm good. Yeah. Having ingredient, it not becoming the food. You have to learn how to cook them, have to put them together, ingredient, yeah? I have lots of ingredient, but I don't know how to cook, so they're still there, sitting there. It never become a food. So you have to learn how to cook them, all those ingredients. Same as you have to learn how to practice. Without the practicing, they are not going to come this result. So have to come all the favorable cause and condition to put together to, that's called the practice, to bring in this result, that ground. So that's called the path Mahamudra. And the path Mahamudra is divided into 4 in the Kamboba, called the 4 yoga of Mahamudra. 1 point, free from elaboration, 1 test, non-meditation. So last week we talked about the 1 point and free from elaborations. So 1 point is mainly Kamabhati meditation, actually. 1-pointed mind, mainly Kamabhati meditation. That Kamabhati meditation supported by the wisdom. So that way in the generally in the Buddhism, and especially in the Vajrayana, is we use as the union yoga. Union means always they have to come union together. So here, Kamabhati meditation and Vipassana meditation have to come together. One other doesn't work. So this is like this. Vipassana meditation is a light. But the light only will survive if there's a secure protection. Like you can keep the lamp outside if there's a secure. If the lamps have no secure, then one wind come is destroyed. Yeah. So the secure or the protection is called the Kamabhati. So mind is made really flexible to can focus on that continually. So the 1-pointed yoga of the Mahamudra is mainly talking about the Kamabhati, actually. Kamabhati supported by the Vipassana or special insight. I think lots of people, the English, they use as a special insight. Khenpo Rinpoche, I think he translated as a special insight in the Julonament. And I heard other people also using that special insight, which means the Vipassana in the Sanskrit or Pali. So that is a 1 point yoga of the 1 point mind. Then second one, as I said, free from elaboration. Free from elaboration means that we have this, as earlier I mentioned, elaboration means the conceptual, good, bad. So you have to analyze yourself. There's a called method is called analyzing the where come from the mind, where going. So you have to build one strong thought, a thought or feeling or anything. Bring something in your mind, including your body. So in the normally is called for mindfulness. Mindfulness of body, mindfulness of mind, mindfulness of thought, feeling, and mindfulness of mind. So we go to, like, for example, mindfulness of feeling. That you have to make that feeling really strong first. Make sure you have all, complete, not just, what called, What call it, like not clear? What call this? Not just vividly, okay? You have to make really strong feeling, that feeling, make stronger. Once make that strong feeling, then analyze on that feeling. Okay, where feeling come from?
Also from superficial to deeply.
I think not superficial, but whatever feeling you have, you don't need to superficial. Just whatever you have a feeling, sad, joy, happy, whatever you have, just make that strong and analyze on that.
Oh, you mean amplify, magnify.
Okay, so they make that really strong and analyze where it come from. It's inside or outside.
Don't push it away.
Don't push away. Just analyze on that. When you're analyzing, you will not going to find anything there. You know, that is what it means the free from elaboration. So we elaborating lots of thought. Okay, we have lots of different thought elaborating every day. Why we are not free from those thoughts? It's because we just following with that. Thought after thought, thought after thought, without analyzing. We let go that. You know, we just let happen without that. So that way, without the reason, without the knowing, without the understand, and we just continue on that. So once you start analyzing on that particular thought, feeling, or whatever thought you have, including your body. Normally we said, oh, I have this body, I'm here. But when you're starting the looking your body, where's your body? You're not going to find that. So this method is in the Theravada tradition or Mahayana tradition, both used in same way. It's said 5 aggregate, or as a self, or whatever is called, is like a chariot. Chariot, when you put every piece together, it becomes a chariot, yeah? But when you separate all those pieces, separate and put on the ground, you're not going to find chariot anywhere. Piece not gone, any piece not missing, but you not see the chariot. That is how analyzing. Analyzing means that try to go to deeper break. For that, you need to understand the impermanent, and you need to understand the interdependent. Then you can analyze. Normally, we'd never analyze it. That way, we see the one body, we see the one house, we see the one tree, and that's how then we said, oh, this is a good one, this is a bad one. But when you start analyzing, you're not going to see that oneness. And there's no many bodies. Yeah, one piece, but many pieces. So that is how they analyze. Then that is what in the Muhammad tradition is called examining the coming, going, and awareness. Where it's come, where it's going, and who is aware of that. So you have to examine it. That's when you examine it, you will not find anything. That is what it means that free from elaboration. You're not shutting down your thought. Some people think that meditation means that just shut it down, just stop. That's not good method because there's no wisdom involvement. It's just like sleeping. Then, those animals can do better. They got to hibernate for many months. And if that is a meditation, then all those people who, what called the concuss, yeah, they get a coma. Coma is a good retreat. That's not a meditation. Meditation need awareness. Make sense? So you have to only this is the way to you can free that mind from the conceptual. So you have to examine it. You have to analyze on that, whatever thought, appearance have. So that is in the Buddhism divided into 4: body, feeling, mind, and phenomena. Phenomena means that generally all the any kind of object is called a phenomena. And we have a specifically our thought, the mind, and also mind with that come with a thought. Thought is, mind with that come with the feeling. Sorry. So then with the body. So this is a mindfulness is it's a kind of like conjunction. Can you say conjunction? Kind of like joining. Conjunction of vipassana and kamabhati. This is a part of the kamabhati, but not only kamabhati. There's involvement of vipassana. So these two together, you will reach to the free from elaboration. So in the Mahamudra, it's called the free from elaboration, and which is to see your true nature of a mind directly. As sometimes it's called the naked mind. It means the unfabricated mind. Yeah, so to see the nature of mind. In the Sutra tradition, is called the path of the seeing, first bhumi. Yeah, so you directly see the ultimate nature of the emptiness. So then, once from there, it's called the Bodhisattva in the Mahayana. Bodhisattva, you got the first bhumi. That is the first bhumi. First bhumi to seven bhumi is called the impure bhumi. Why is called the impure bhumi? Because each bhumi divided into two, called the pause meditation and equipoise meditation. At the equipoise meditation, they are no different, all same. First bhumi to the 10th bhumi, all same, they are no different. You cannot tell your first bhumi is equipoise meditation, or you cannot tell that your 10th bhumi is equipoise meditation. But pause meditation, from the first bhumi to 7th bhumi, still they have a dualistic conceptual. Duality. Yeah, duality. They still have duality. So that way I call the impure, because of the duality thought. It's not same as our duality. What is different, our duality and Bodhisattva duality is our duality is in the dream, when dreaming. You not recognizing it's a dream. Yeah. Bodhisattva's duality is a dream, remembering after wake up. You know it's an illusion. You know it's not real, but still you have that memory of the dream. Make sense? So it's not, so even they have a duality, they know it's not real. It is illusion. For us, we have no idea that's illusion. That is different. Our duality and Bodhisattva's duality. But still, they have some degree of duality. Dualistic? What is different in those two?
Dual, depending on how you use it. So you say dualistic tact, and you can say dualistic and dual thoughts. Dualistic conception is also correct, but most people use dual.
Okay. So, but once it reach to the 8th bhumi, even the post meditation, they don't have that concept. Dualistic. So that way, 8 to 10 bhumi is called the pure bhumi. Why? Because there are no post meditations that conceptual or dualistic, duality. So that not having duality in the Mahamudra is called the one taste. So then you don't have any kind of differential. Everything become a one taste. So those yogi who reach to that state, then they can drink alcohol, not going to be intoxicated. They're not going to get drunk. No matter how much they drink. Like, one day that the Biroba I mentioned earlier, he drank 500 gallons of alcohol one day. I mean, human naturally cannot drink. We completely pass out. Even like 100 gallon, it will maybe totally destroyed. Yeah, he drank 500 gallon, but no problem. So if you become like that, then it's alcohol is nothing. It's the same as a drinking water. Make sense? So now, yeah. So it's a, yes, it's a, still you're violating the Vinaya because you drink alcohol. Doesn't matter what you say. But it's not really violating your moral. Make sense? So okay, something like that. So we did this one. And from this verse, actually verse 73 is a this is called free from elaborations. This is a in the Mahamudra teaching, it said it's like a analyzing as a past, present, and future, or analyzing as a things and nothing, and analyzing as a singleness or a multiplicity. So when you're analyzing, you're not going to find anything. So it is like a empty house got the thief. Thief get in the empty house, there's nothing to steal. So there's nothing. So even we try to put their conceptual, but nothing to find the thought. So that one. And 73 is a start actually one-testness. So one-testness said here, 73 said mind and conceptual thought are like a water and ice. So in the Drupa Pema Gabos, there's one Mahamudra teaching. He said, gaining certainty in the equal test of all phenomena through the example of water and wave. Water and wave are totally inseparable. Wave is come from the water. Because of the water, there's a wave. The wave is not different than separate than water, but still there is a two that come. So some people who not recognize it, and the water and wave are separate sounds. Same way our thought and mind in nature itself looks different, but it's not really, So that is what we taught from there. And I think try to continue from here today. Said inseparability of appearance and mind is like a last night's dream. Is a possessing the four characteristics is a union of the appearance and emptiness. It cannot be said to be one thing or two. This is my heart's advice. So this is a recognizing the appearance mind through the example of the dream. So mind is a mind means here is talking about the conceptual, our thought, like a consciousness, So those all is talking about the mind. The nature of a mind is that wisdom, see the truth one. So those are inseparable. So there's one Miller said, the experience, the last night dream are teacher that show you that appearance in the mind to appearance are the mind. Do you understand that? So Miller was one of Vajasong said this one. So what it means that whatever you appearance is not different than last time's dream. I mean, sometimes we don't remember it was a dream or it happened yesterday. Lots of time we really confuse. It happened, or I for personally, lots of time I have this confusion. Sometimes it's a dream and I thought it happened yesterday. Sometimes it happened yesterday, I thought that was last night's my dream. So it's really difficult to distinguish. Even you remember that is clearly how you can separate yesterday's experience and last night's dream. There's no way we can separate. Both are just memory. There's not scientifically improved. Oh, yes, yesterday's really happened as here, and last night dream is this. I mean, not much in mind, mentally. I'm talking about. You cannot just download in the computer to photo of yesterday what happened, and there's nothing download in the computer to last night's dream. That's not really. It's the same. These two are inseparable. So that way, saying inseparability of the appearance and mind are like last night's dream. It's a possessing the four characteristics is the union of appearance and emptiness. So this nature of a mind itself have a four characteristics. Oh, Liz, you come late. It means that empty essence. Empty essence. Number 7 means the clarity of appearance. Or nature is a appearance. Number appearance as a union appearance, and characteristic as a non-duality, something like that. So this is I think Lhasa Mahamudra teaching it come. I'm not sure this is same one or not. This is Lhasa Mahamudra teachings sometimes come the characteristic of a mind as like that. Empty essence, nature as a empty essence, nature as a nature as a luminosity, luminosity or appearance. And so there's those. I think that's talking about this kind of the four characteristics as a union of the appearance and emptiness. It cannot be said to be one thing or two. This is my heart's advice. So like those empty by those both empty by essence of this empty essence, dream or last yesterday what happened. And there's a luminosity. It means that it happened something. It's an appearance in your mind. Maybe it's a physical appearance or in the dream appearance. Something have appearance. And that appearance is an inseparable appearance and emptiness. That's why it's called the union of the union, and the characteristic of it is said non-duality, not separate, cannot be separated. Is
it union of appearance and emptiness?
Yeah. Number 7. Now, so there's basically 4 kind of characteristics. I'm not really sure this is the same one or not, but this is said this is 4 characteristics on this. So emptiness, it cannot be said to be one thing or two. Okay, then the next one said, co-emerge mind as such is like an ocean wave. Although discursive thought has completely subsided, these 6 objects are clearly present. Clarity and emptiness are inseparable. This is my heart's advice. So, co-emerge mind. Co-emerge mind means that the nature of a mind, which is the permanently there. Our mind doesn't matter where it goes, but that nature is always there, never change. So that is called the co-emerge mind. That come with like a moisture is always with the water. Yeah, you're not going to find water without the moisture. So that is a co-emerge mind. Mean the mind is always be that nature is always there. Doesn't matter what become. It's still nature is still there. That way co-emerge mind is that to nature, such as like the ocean wave. So then conceptual comes this ocean wave. Although discursive thought has completely subsided, what kind of discursive thought is 6 objects are clearly present? Mean the 6 objects eye see the form, ear hear the sound, now smell the smell, tongue experience the taste, body experience the touch, and mind present as a phenomena. Those are 6 objects: form, sound, smell, text, touch, and phenomena. They are present. You don't need to, eliminate them to free from the thought. You don't need to cut that one. So that way, Tilupa said to Naropa, son, we're not bound in the samsara by appearance. We are bound in samsara by the grasping. So the six here used as a 6 object clearly present. It's not going to bother us, long as we have a realization of the one-tasteness clearly and presence. Clarity and emptiness are inseparable. So this is it. Because we don't see clarity as an emptiness, then we make them as a solid existent. Because of that conception of a solidly existent, we're creating the and labeling the good, bad, and like, dislike. Then from that label to create the emotion. Oh, I like that one, attach. I dislike that one, hatred. I don't know what is going on, ignorance. So or you can say it's a attachment and hatred is a result of the ignorance, and also attachment and ignorance produce the ignorance. I mean, attachment and hatred produce the ignorance. So this is happened that way. Is this clarity and emptiness are inseparable. This is my heart advice. Now that is these 3 words, 70, 74, 75, 76 is the teaching on the one-testness. Those are inseparable. One-testness as a yoga of the one-testness in the Mahamudra. Then last one is called the non-meditation. So why is it called the yoga of the non-meditation? Is it, you are taking break from the meditation. It's not about the taking break from the meditation. Yeah, you don't need, you are there. When you reach the DC, you don't need to drive anymore. You are in the DC. Meditation means the familiarize. You don't need to familiarize anymore. You are actualize. So that way, this what kind of this is it? It's called the ordinary mind. In the in the Kagyu tradition, we always use this word in the Mahamudra teachings, ordinary mind. In the other, they don't use different things, but this ordinary mind is actually why they're using is because in the Sanskrit word called the pakrida, I think it's called the pakrida word, one word. That pakrida have 2 meanings. Can be translated as an ordinary or can be translated as a nature. So that way, when I think Marba and they translate as a pakrita as a ordinary mind. So this is not talking about the ordinary mind as a normally what we're describing ordinary mind. I'm ordinary. That's not talking about. This is ordinary is a unfabricated one. Like totally free from the fabrication or called artificial an artificial mind. That is what is the ordinary mind means. This pure one. So see as what it is. That is ordinary. Pakrita. I think it's a Sanskrit word. It's called pakrita. So that way it's called the ordinary mind. Is like the center of the sky. It's untouched by the thought of the 3 times. It is a mode of beings in the unfabricated mind. This is my heart advice. So there's no center of the sky. Because the sky cannot point as this is center. So it's an ordinary mind means nature of mind is like that. So that's the Dharmakaya. So sky means they're talking about the space. You cannot say there's no space. Space is there, but you cannot describe what does the space look like. Where is the space? What is the shape of the space? What is color of the space? There's no description. So same as a Dharmakaya is like that. So that way space have no, this is center, this is a border. There's nothing. I mean that now especially scientists, their technology using as a, then they're not finding actually there's a age of the space. There's no age of the space. Some ancient history there's a talking about the age of the space.
Age.
Huh? Age, yeah. So like there's one Mipham Rinpoche in the Nyingma tradition. His name is a Ju Mipham. You may see sometimes his name come. I think most of the time his name come Ju Mipham, but maybe not in the English text. English text most of the time I see as a Mipham. But the Tibetan, we always have a Ju Mipham. Ju is his client's name. So Tibetans, they said Ju means that just holding. So they come down from the, space to on the earth by holding the edge of the sky, space. So we have that kind of story. But actually, there's no really edge of the space. If there's no edge, if there's no edge, how you can find the center of the space? There's no center. So nature of mind is like that. If there's no center, there's no edge, there's no color, there's no shape, you cannot describe. So that is a non-meditation, that is the ordinary mind, that is the Dharmakaya. So Dharmakaya is like a space. Without the space, nothing functions. Yeah, but space itself is beyond the describe. So that way you see, when we talk about the Dharmakaya, when we talk about the emptiness, it's not talking about that there's nothing.
Just the opposite.
Yes, everything, but they're out of describe. So I think that is what I mean here, saying it's ordinary mind is like the center of the sky. It is untouched by the thought. It means the center of the sky. If there's a center, of course, then it's touched by the thought. You can say this is center. Untouched by the thought means that you can point it to the center of the sky. Likely now we have a science provement that the scientists said there's no really, center actually. There's no limitation. I mean, still, scientists need to go to very far to try to reach Buddha's wisdom. Nowhere even not near what Buddha said. And Buddha, without using of those, what called them? Telescopes. He told everything. Now, they using telescope, they see in some part.
Yeah.
That's amazing, like Buddha's wisdom. So that is what mean the untouched by thought 3 times. So there's no longer there's no thought, so that you cannot make as a 3 times in past, present, future. I mean, this way to look, even our reality, the ordinary life, where is the past? It's gone. Nobody knows. I mean, just only we have a memory. Where's the future? There's no future. Never seen. Beside the future and past, you're not going to find the present. Yeah, we may say, oh, this life is a present, but when you just look the subtle way, you're not going to find the present. Everything is become a past and future. There's no present. So that means there is nothing actually. Past is gone, future is not yet there, and person is not exist. That is what mean the three times. So all phenomena like space, there is no describe because this is an empty nature, free from empty of inherent. It's called the empty of inherent existence. So the heart is the Dharmakaya. So, or you can say ordinary mind. And in the, it's called the, okay, so in the Mahamudra, now it said, is this a symbolically? No, symbolically. Simply? Unscatter. Oh, sorry. Unbroken practice is like a watchful guard. It's a symbolically unscattered and is free from acceptance and rejection. There's no duality of things to be abandoning, and there's an antidote. That is be my heart's advice. So it means the unbroken practice. What is the unbroken practice? Is this something is a continuing? Something is a continuing is called the mindfulness. So it's the main body of the practice is called the mindfulness in the Buddhism. You know, really, head of the meditation is called the devotion. But the main body of the meditation is a mindfulness. So what is a mindfulness? Is an unbroken practice, continuing. Something is a continuing. So there's a watchful guard. Watchful guard is a make sure you're not losing your mindfulness. Yeah. So something is guiding you. You know, make sure your mindfulness is not losing, staying there. So that is what is mean that watchful, watchful guard. So is this like a mindfulness means that just remembering the focal object. Watchful guard mean that sometimes we translate as a alertness. Alertness. Yeah, alertness. So the alertness is a make sure alarm. Like when things come, alarm make the noisy, yeah? Lots of house have this alarm. So when yeah? Alarm. So this alertness. So make sure distraction not come. If come, immediately record. Yes, that's a shepherd. So protecting that one mind from the unbroken practice as a watchful guard. Simply unscatters. So it means the simply unscattered means that when you have a mindfulness, you don't need to be focused too much. Oh, I have to be mindfulness. I have to remember. I have to don't forget this. And then it's not become a simply scatter. It's become a distraction. Simply, okay, simply. So that way it's just have to keep us a really just mindfulness means that enough to not forget. But if you know put in thought on that, then it become a distraction, agitation. So between the dullness of the mind and agitation, there's a have between theirs. That is called the mindfulness. So simply unscatter. It means that just enough to live as a simple, live as a just remembering that. Yeah. So no conceptual, no analyzing, no worry or no hope. Yes, just like if you think about the Vajra, just think as a Vajra. Don't think as a, oh, this is maybe built by this material, this is this size and this color, and then it become an agitation. So same as when you meditate on the Buddha, Just remember the Buddha. Don't worry about the what material and what is size. If you don't see Buddha's body is totally, completely, clearly, it's okay. If you try to see, then your mind distracted. So that is what is a mindfulness mean, that just enough to not forget the focal object.
Mind tricks you.
Yeah, just enough. But if you try to see more detail on that, then it becomes analyze. Then analyze is conceptual. So then your mind distracted. So that means that is actually every day our practices should be mindfulness.
Should be.
Yeah. So guys, free from the acceptance and rejection. So this, if you have an acceptance and rejection, you don't have a mindfulness. Because your mind is busy with a conceptual thought. Your mind is busy with agitation.
Judgment.
Yes, judgment. So then your lack of a mindfulness, that will happen this one. So you need a mind have to be free from those two conceptual.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So with what you just said, how do you incorporate that? How do you incorporate the enumeration of the deities, implements, ornaments, and things of that into the sadhana practice if you are not able to analyze?
So those are training of the mind, try to learn how to focus. Using sometimes using like number, okay, counting. That's just training. But if you do that all time, it becomes a distraction later. So that reason, actually, once you get a certain point of the practice, even you're not allowed to read the text. You're not allowed to use the prayer wheel. You're not allowed to use the mala.
You don't need it.
Yes, then it becomes a distraction. Even those become a distraction part of that. But from the beginning, we need those all to train the mind. So if you look at this, I noticed this many times with the Gaji Rinpoche, when he is actually, come to the actually meditation part of his teaching, like doing the empowerment, when you totally go to the what called the completion stage, he put down his prayer wheel. I saw that many times. When you really quiet meditation, he never used that prayer wheel. So it's okay to normally use in prayer wheel, go to circumambulation, doing prostration, and recite the mantra and those, and reading books, and those all is good for development. Yes, to get there. Once you get there, if you use them, then it becomes a distraction. So for the beginner, need everything. Once you get advanced, then those are becoming not good. So lots of practitioner, when they get a really kind of like advanced certain level, they never read the text. Actually, you're not allowed to read, because it's Milarepa said, when you are meditating on the Mahamudra, don't do physically too much activity. It will destroy your midoishi, non-conceptual wisdom. So this is not talking about that. This is we're not talking about everyone one packet, everyone. Yeah. So every contact, can say every contact or every action have a time. One should do, one shouldn't do. What should do, what shouldn't do. So it's not, everyone is not same. So that way, teacher need to know you. You have to know your own teacher, and through that too, then you have to work together with your practice and the experience and guiding, and all have to do together to reach there. One time recipe teaching, one time instruction, or this is not going to get there.
Once you learn how to ride a bike, you don't consciously think I'm holding the handle.
Yeah.
No, you don't think of it anymore.
Yes.
You know how to ride a bike, you don't even think.
Yes, that is come now
It
here.
becomes automatic.
Yes. So if you try to think, then it's becoming again distraction. Yeah. So then you don't need to worry about that. It's come naturally. So that is, I mean, talking about this is, so it's not talking saying it's from the beginning to don't do that one. Beginning to must do. Recite the mantra, do prostration, circumambulation, use a mala mantra, and this help us to mindfulness. This is really talking about the advanced one. So abandoning their antidote is this my heart's advice. There's a bringing everything to the path is like the medicine of the youthful healer. Even harmful beings do not exist apart from one's mind. Realize without the grasping whatever arises, this is my heart's advice. So bringing everything on the path, this is called the lamkir in there. So whatever you experience in your life, you become a part of the path. You have to use. Right now, we said, oh, this is good for my practice. This is not good. We have, oh, I'm sick. This maybe this and that. We have lost this. But the really advanced practitioner, whatever comes, they use that as a part of the path.
It's all a teaching.
Yes, that's always part of the teaching. There's always a part of the path. So there's a Muju Thomas Sambo's prayer in our prayer book. If I'm get sick, I'm be happy. All my, bad karma and there's a purified. If I'm healthy, I'm be happy. That way I can pay. So I mean, this is whatever comes in your part life, that is used as a part of the path. So you have to need the skill to how to use them part of the path, without the distraction, without the negative emotion from that. Then, so there's some saying is when you not recognizing, is called the evil spirit and demons. When you're recognizing them and they become a Dharma protector. That does look like Milareva's life story. First, like a 5 sisters, they come to distract him. From the beginning, they not come to help him. They took lots of tests on him. They tried everything to destroy him, but couldn't. Then they become one of the best students for him. So that way yogi, when they not recognize it, is called the evil spirit and demons. When they recognize it, they have become a Dharma protector. So how to recognize means that how you see your own nature of mind. When you don't see the nature of mind, everything's our enemies.
Enemies are your best teachers.
Yes, but when you utilizing them, the enemy is the best teacher. Like a Milareва, look the Milareва. If I look, oh, the aunt and uncle is really bad. They're really like his two enemies. But if you look at the spiritual way, they did for his spiritual journey more support than the Marba did to him. Because if they are not exist, their Marba will not appear in his life. Yeah. So because of their evilness, I mean, they're not, they don't have that good intention, but still, because there's evilness, Milareва become Milareva, what we have now. Yeah. So that's I think this is what saying is in our life, not necessarily everything is come to the favorable situations. There's sometimes likable situations, some are dislikable situations, sometimes a good situation, sometimes a bad situation. So you have to learn using all of them as a part of the path. If you want to be truly Dharma practitioner, then every situation have to be used as a part of the path.
Every person.
Yeah, every person, every situation, every circumstance, whatever, have to use as a part of the path. Then you will truly reach to the nirvana. If you're saying, oh, this is good, this is bad, and this is like, this is dislike, then there's a door dualistic, there's a conceptual, then there's a not really liberation chance. So I think that is what we're talking about, bringing everything to the path. You know, lots of time we think when things happen, we're healthy, we're happy, good community, or this and that. They say, oh, this is really good for my spiritual. No, actually, sometimes we need, for the truly awakening, we need lots of negative. That lots of negative will help us. So one evidence is, if we are healthy, our life is really no problem whatsoever. We less think about the Dharma. We think more about the fun things. But when things, little bit problem comes, immediately think about the Dharma. So when come to the actually spiritual path, to the unit, to the Buddhahood, you know, actually those are more important than. So that way, in the Shantideva said, if you compare to the what is the, you know, important to the your unit, to the Buddhahood, sentient being as an enemy, and Buddha, you have to be equal, because one of those are not exist, you cannot have a complete path. So every situation is a part of the, become a part of your journey. So you have to use all the situation as a part of the support of the path. Yes.
What's the significance of youthful healer?
Oh, there's a coming.
Okay. Oh, he's not on. Sorry.
So youthful healer is a Buddha's time. There's a physician. I think he was a son of King Bimbisar, but his mother was a dancer. You know, so not really Ajatashatru's mother. So same father with Ajatashatru. This youthful physician, youthful healer. Normally we come youthful physician. So this is one lady dancer, her son, and the father was King Bimbisar. I think something like that. So he become, you know, he not become a monk, but he became a physician to help. So what this means is one really good physician, they use every substance to make the medicine. If you look at herbal medicine, there are lots of poison too.
Too much.
Yeah, lots of poison. There's a poison. If you know how to use ingredient, they become a medicine. So there's nothing that is not using in the medicine, if you know how to put together. So that is it. Like a physician, use everything is for the medicine. All the plant, I think pretty much every plant is if you know the put together how to, what say? Ingredient, formula, it become a medicine. So that way Western has had difficulty accepting the Tibetan medicine, because it had some, it's called the Ngunchu Tibetan, some kind of poison. So when scientists check, then it's not really acceptance.
Well, prescriptions are poison.
Yeah, but that's supported by the powerful companies, so they not count as that. Yeah. So that way, in the really true physician, really skillful physician, they use everything as for the medicine. Yeah. So that one of the best physician as the youthful healer. His name is Tsoji Shunu, Tibetan. I don't know what his Sanskrit actual name. His name is Tsoji Shunu. He was the one of the Buddha's physician. He giving to medicine to Buddha, also he helped to Buddha lots of way physically. So Buddha's time, he come to Buddha's time. So this is like him, you know. So that way, in the practitioner, you cannot say, "Oh, this is a good condition. This is a bad condition. I want to do this." But for the beginner, then you need to have to choose the good condition. Suitable condition, favorable. Because from the beginner to, if you say, "Oh, this is all I have to carry on the path," you cannot handle. This is a talk about the advanced practitioner. This is like a grow-up's food cannot digest by the baby. So we are when the beginner practitioner like baby have to be really careful what eat, amount, and all those. But once you grow up, then anything digests. Yeah. So this is different. So I think this is mostly talking about the advanced one. That way, everything can become a part of the practice. So, youthful hearers, even harmful beings do not exist apart from the one's mind. So this is now all the harm or help as our projection. Actually, mind created that one. Because this is a weekend sense. When we are happy, even somebody said mean things, it's becoming funny. You're not going to hurt that much. Oh, that's fun. But when we have a stress and some emotion problem, even somebody said hello, it will get irritated to you. So that way, that is what it is. How much we grasping ourselves, that much we experience the suffering or joy. So that way, it's not really that is the enemy. Your mind is the enemy. How you projecting. When you're projecting as a negative way, even somebody said nice things, you get upset. When you did the projecting in the positive way, even somebody said mean things, it's not going to bother you anymore, anything. So I think this is talking about this. So do not exist part of your mind. Your mind is the really enemy or friend. Without the grasping, whatever arises, this is my heart was released without the grasping. Mean that just let go the attachment, let go the grasping. It means that, like when somebody said really nice things, don't be too attached. And not necessarily you have those. Don't be too proud yourself, that one. But also sometimes said somebody criticizes you really strongly, not necessarily you have that faults. So don't be too upset. That is their opinion. They put their own opinion, they put their own color. But now when you react, it's your opinion. It's your color. So no one can give us a joy or suffering from the outside. Only we make that. When we accept as a negative way, it makes suffering. When we accept as a positive way, it makes joy. So that way, our mind is the mastermind, yeah? Can some mastermind? It's the mind. Because of the joy or sad, suffering. Then now he said, attachment to karma abiding is like the frozen surface of the lake. It's a dual and undiscriminating mind. Undiscriminating, yeah? It's a mistake that lead you to be formless realm. This is my heart's advice. I'm not sure this one is a lead to the formless realm is by attached to the karma abiding. Normally, what I saw reborn in the formless realm is a misunderstood of the view. A view of the emptiness. When you misunderstood, then it's a cause to reborn in the formless realm. So this one is, I'm not really sure. This sentence.
Does the English match the translate?
Not yet, it is matched to Tibetan. So maybe
What makes the formless realm?
I think this is mainly talking about
What makes the formless realm so obscure? Why is it such an undesirable place?
if you stay in your life, if you stay 35 years or 40 years or 50 years in from your life, and the concussion, it's good or bad?
Not good.
Okay.
Yes, the formless realm is exactly same that, but much longer. So the nothing is good from there. I will come back for that. I will come back for that. So I think this is mostly talking about the when you be attached to the karma binding, it's something that is you go to like these days lots of people do is a karma binding as a just go to nothingness.
Escape.
Yeah, nothingness. He said, oh, meditation, stop thinking. You know, I think that kind of karma binding. Then yes, if you think it's a nothing, then that is actually not the karma binding problem. It's a mistaken view. That's called a mistaken view.
Attached to the bliss.
Yes. So that mistaken view is reborn in that. You become that one when you die.
Then you're stuck.
Yeah. So once you born there, you don't have that concept even. Just totally concussion. Then when you realize in that state, then same time you have conceptual of called the wrong view. What is a wrong view? Say first you thought, oh, this is in nirvana, but then you see you because your rabbinic karma is the end, then you will reborn in the lower realm. You know, then you have a conceptual thought of oh, nirvana is not really truly exists. It's a mistake. That's a wrong view. That caused to reborn in the actually low realm, in even the hell realms, because of that wrong view. So that way, formless realm is a one. I say you have a long period of time as lifespan is really long. You stay in that state without awareness. And two, once you awake from that state of the meditation, you will have good chance to reborn in the low realm because of the wrong view.
Any hope?
They're not much. So that reason is reborn in the higher realm is not that good. That way saying it's a precious human body. Because human is the best opportunity to reach to the nirvana, better than form realm and formless realm.
So this isn't the same state that they talk about that an arhat is born into.
Arhat is a different state. Arhat is they're free from samsara.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll come later. I will talk to you about that. It's a little bit different state.
But they're not fully enlightened.
Yes, so that is come later. So that way, I think this one is basically talking about the like we have a misunderstanding of the karma binding. This one is attached to the karma binding means the misunderstanding. Karma binding means that just stop thinking. I think that one because the main cause to reborn and the formless realm is a mistaken view.
So is it combined without vipassana?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Not just only karma binding without the vipassana, karma binding misunderstood. They think it's just stop thinking is the karma binding. So that is like a freezing lake, a frozen lake.
You're not learning anything.
Yes. So you just froze yourself. There are no awareness. One time somebody is teaching here, one Tibetan monk, he teaching about the karma binding and Mahamudra. He said Mahamudra is free from thought. And the Michael Khenpo said, even that one need awareness. He was right. Even the Mahamudra, even the karma binding need some degree of awareness. Not go to totally. La Lydia. Okay. Now, grasping at the duality of things and things to be abandoned, and there is an antidote. It's like someone with a fully a faulty vision, not realizing their true nature. One hold one's own projection as an enemy. Cherish the undistracted and non-grasping mind. This is my heart's advice. So this is now actually this is talking about a person who have a like a advanced practice realization. So those, but a beginner practice must need what is, you have to know what should be abandoned and what should be accepted and what should be rejected. That's really important. If you're from the beginning to, if you go that one and you become a nihilism, which is worse than eternalism. This is talking about the advanced practitioner. So for us, we don't need to pay attention too much on that. I mean, for us, mean that like a person like me who is just a beginner to join there. So no need to pay attention on that.
Not there yet.
Yes. So it's not good for our health of spiritual. From beginning to you go to like talk like that. In the in Tibetan we said, fox cannot jump where lion can jump.
Just can't.
Yeah. So this is a person practitioner who have like a reach to the higher than 8 bhumi. Then can say it's a grasping of the duality of things to be abandoning. And there's an antidote. It's like someone is a fully faulty vision. So because truly that is true. Everything is a faulty vision. But we're not yet awake from that. Until we awake from the sleeping, dream is not illusion. Dream is real. When we wake up, then dream is a illusion. Dream is a not real. Make sense? So that way, until we awake from our delusion, we have to respect for this reality.
Sure.
Yeah. So once we are from the totally awake from that delusion, then you don't have to follow that reality. So that way, as a Dharma practitioner, beginner, it's important to all those recitation, mantra, prostration, mandala offering, guru yoga, those all is really necessary. But so once you pass that one, and those are becoming distraction. So I think this is mostly is talking about the advanced practitioner. So faulty vision means that somebody have no good eyesight. They don't see the rope as a rope. They may see rope as a snake, not realizing their true natures. So one hold one's own projection as enemies. So then rope as a snake, then have fears. So that fear is we created. Rope cannot make us give you the fear of snake, but we created that one. So our own enemy is our projection. What do we see? So same thing as a Dharma practitioner. Sometimes we say, oh, they are my enemy, they are my friend. So our projection. Because if you truly practitioner, both can be your friend, both can be your supporter. Your sickness is a support of your Dharma, your health is a support of your Dharma.
Your friends can be your enemies.
Yes, your happiness is a support of your Dharma, your sadness is your support of Dharma. Your health is a support of your Dharma, your sickness is your support of the Dharma. If both not have, you cannot, if you're totally sick, you cannot practice Dharma. Yeah, you need some health, but at the same time, you need to remain some kind of sickness to remember the practice Dharma. So those all is become a circumstance of the practice Dharma. So that way there is no really, separate like some kind of project, the enemy or friend. Or, so that way our own projects cherish the undistracted and non-grasping mind. So that way mind have to be trained. Blank view of emptiness is like a medicine become a poison. Disavowing the cause and result. As a saying, there are no deity and no ghost. This is incurable. This is my heart's advice. So this is a blank view of emptiness, mean the like just think empty. Some say, oh, there's nothing. There are no samsara, there are no nirvana. And becoming careless. Careless. Yeah. Lots of we use this excuse. I hear many people. Yeah. So there's no samsara. Samsara and nirvana is one taste. Lots of people say this one. Oh, just one taste. Same time when they facing situation, they have a really strong reaction. I had an experience with someone in the car talking about when you say, oh, there's no samsara, everything one taste, everything's empty. And same time they got phone call and some happened on the store, some problem, and they really become upset. So reality is not one taste, but the verbally there's fancy language then use it as a one taste. So this is not about the emptiness as a Tongda Hebo is here said in the Tibetan said Tongda Hebo, blank view of the emptiness. It means that just empty. Without seeing like if you read the Heart Sutra, it didn't say just empty. It said empty of inherent existence. In the Heart Sutra, just said Buddha said, all phenomena are just empty. Then that is, maybe that is true, but in the Buddha, even himself, he didn't say phenomena empty of inherent, just empty. He said empty of inherent existence. So this is like that medicine become the poison. So when medicine, if take too much, it become a poison. If you go to too extreme of emptiness, it's become an incurable poison. Because if you're sick, you can take the medicine to cure. If you take too much medicine, there's no medicine to cure from that. So same thing is, if you have a grasping on the existence, there's a curable medicine which is called the emptiness. How to cure from that grasping. But if you have an extreme of emptiness, then there's no other antidote. So that way Asara has said, grasping on the phenomena is like a stupid like cattle. Grasping on the nothing is the most stupid. Because grasping on the existence is yes, it's ignorant, but still it's not that bad because there's a medicine to cure called the emptiness. But if you think phenomena are just empty, then there's no other antidote from that. So that is what I mean, the blank view of emptiness is like a medicine become a poison. Disavowing cause and result. It means that not believing on the cause and result of the law of causality and saying there is no deity, no ghost. It means that no good, no bad. No nirvana, no samsara. So samsara and nirvana is one taste. This is an uncurable disease. And here, now, Kevin, yours come here. Attachment to the cessation is like a raven's walk. One cannot arrive complete enlightenment. One will fall to the vehicle of the Sharvaka. This is my heart's advice. So as cessation, as a gopa, is a arhat. Once they reach to the arhat, sometimes they go to cessation. Why they go to cessation is a arhat. Once they did reach to the nirvana, there's nothing to do. So they go to cessation as a completely absorption. Meditation that is a completely absorbed, that they have no awareness, long period of time. So that is a go to the cessation of the meditation is a, like absorption is a, like I said, ravens walk. Raven walk is a, if they fly, they can fly long distance, but they walk, sometimes they walk a few steps, and back. They like a kind of dancing, bird dance. Yeah. So they dance, or sometimes go to side by side. That never reach to the anywhere. Just kind of basically there's, walk, jump a little bit forward, jump back a little bit back, or sometimes side by side. So never reach there. So that means they're just caught up there. Through cessation is arhat, is that way. So arhat actually take much longer to become a Buddha than Bodhisattva. Why? Because they stay on that cessation of the meditation long time.
But they can still get there.
They have to awake from that cessation, some point. In the jewel ornament, there's three: blessing by the Buddha's body, blessing by the speech, blessing by the mind. They awake from there. Then they finally join to the Bodhisattva path to become a Buddha. So that way it is staying on that cessation is take much longer. But still, this is not same. Arhat is not same as earlier Kevin saying is a formless realms, because formless realm is still in the within the wheel of samsara. They're not outside of the wheel of samsara. Arhat is free from samsara, but not yet to the Buddhahood. It's just stuck in the between island. They're stuck long time. So that way, it's saying take longer. So it's like bird walking or flying, and walking take much longer than flying. Especially when you're not walking straight, you're dancing around, you never reach there. So Charot is basically it's a kind of like a raven have some kind of dance round. They just do some kind of like walking. I saw, they just kind of jump, and do. I don't know how to express this one, but there's, yeah,
They
hop around, yes, hopping around. That's in Tibetan called the Charot. So bird do that one, but does that one, yeah. Okay, so so don't attach to the just. This is talking about the truth of cessation, means I just want to be free without taking any other responsibility of, or so this is it. How arhat falling to the truth of the cessation or cessation of the meditation is it, because they don't have any other responsibility of beside their own liberation. So once they liberate, they say, okay, now I reach to the nirvana, I'm free from samsara, nothing have to do, just go to absorb meditation. So stay there. Bodhisattva, even they free from samsara, still they have to improve more, because like first woman Bodhisattva, they are free from samsara, but they not have a good, complete quality to help sentient beings, liberate sentient beings. When they try to perform the benefit of sentient beings, their quality is not good enough. So that way they have to improve more. That is then how to become a completely quality is only when they reach to the Buddhahood. That reason Bodhisattva, because of the compassion, become a Buddha toward to the sentient beings. And Arhat, they don't have that responsibility of compassion to want to liberate sentient beings. So this is a difference between the Bodhisattva and Arhats. They both can reach to the arhat, free from samsara. But Bodhisattva, even they reach to the free from samsara, not good enough. They still need improvement of their wisdom, knowledge, skill. So that way they do continually practice until they become a Bodhisattva. I mean Buddha. And arhat, once they free from samsara, their final goal is achieved. They don't need any more improvement. So that way, it actually, if you attach to that kind of state of the cessation, then you will stuck there a long period of time. Actually, it takes much longer than other Bodhisattva.
But you'll never go back into samsara.
No chance. Then you're not gonna, once you wake up, you're not gonna jump from the cliff unless you have a mentally ill. When you see, you're not going to walk there. So those arhats, once they have a totally awake, they're not going to make mistake to go back to the samsara. So that way they're not going to go back to the samsara, but it takes much longer to become a Buddhahood than actually Bodhisattva. Yeah. Then there's a meditative experience are like summer's middle. There's nothing that cannot arise, such as a clairvoyant and so forth. Avoiding pride and arrogance. This is my heart advice. So, yogi or Dharma practitioner, when we're meditating, sometimes clairvoyant comes, sometimes also, those things kind of called the power from the meditation, supernatural power. Not necessarily always they are good for you. Sometimes negative as a race as that power. So if you look the life story of those past master, when they have a vision or they have a deity's appearance, then they tell them so something you should do this, they always be checked that's true or not, that's real or not. So so one thing is I think I heard this way. One sudden empowerment, you receive the secret name. Have you received the secret name? Yeah, when some high empowerment, like high yoga tantra empowerment. So when you practicing, if you appearance your deity, you can ask, what is my secret name if you're my deity? Because sometimes those maras appearance as your deities and give you wrongful message to make you do things. And that later is to damage your spiritual path. So you can ask them. If that is truly your deity, they can tell your secret name. If that is not your deity, they cannot tell your secret name. Because those Mara and those are not there doing the empowerment. So who knows is your guru, your deity, and yourself. Only three people knows, three beings. That is that secret name. So, so that way, there are many things happen during the meditation. Not necessarily all are really favorable. I heard there's one a monk. He graduated from the monastery, studied, then he went back to his hometown, and their hometown they become really good for like performing rituals and things like that. And slowly he doing more, and slowly he's having even clairvoyant. He can tell why they're sick. He can tell what happened to them. And then later he returned to his guru. Visit his guru, and he said his guru, I can tell why they happened this one. And he became really popular. And the guru said, first, give away all your whatever you accumulate the material. Give away everything, every single things. Then when he did everything, give away to offer to the monastery, give to the poor one, nothing left, and his altar clairvoyant is gone. Then the guru said, that was your obstacles to the path, because sometimes comes some kind of some degree of supernatural power, and it makes us a really arrogant, and you think, oh, I'm something really special. I have really special quality. I'm really, what called up something. Then it causes us to actually true obscuration of the path.
So did he accumulate these possessions as a result of his clairvoyance and his popularity?
No, I mean, that is obstacle. Obstacle make that happen him, that kind of special power. Then when he give away, that Mary help him to free from that obstacles. So lots of Mara actually come this way. Lots of people think, Mara is a come with the obstacles. I mean, we always say Dharma obstacle mean the sickness or problem. Lots of people think that. That is not obstacles. Actually, true Dharma obstacle is come success. When you reach into the success, to the Dharma successful, mundane successful, then you have to really careful. Then later, then slowly, all those problems come. Because of your success, you think you are invisible. You can do whatever you want. You have those all power. No matter what you do, people will agree with you. It temporarily, it happened that way. But it truly becoming obstacle to your path. What happened is you build your arrogance. You build your attachment. I mean, those powers and materially is same as alcohol. It really get to the toxic. That is, once you get to what called this, then you couldn't let go. Addiction. That addiction. There's a have a power addiction. There's a material addiction. They have a fame addiction. Once you get there, and your spiritual is gone far away. So you have to really careful on that. You can get some kind of clear one, and when you do some kind of prayer, puja, blessing, it really helpful. Lots of things happen that. It's not necessarily always favorable to your own spiritual journey. So that way is. Then also, when we're practicing, it can happen lots of, even including the seeing deity, some kind of having vision, all those good things can happen. It's not necessarily all is good. I said, like in the summer, in the ground, it can grow anything. It doesn't mean that everything is good. That way we have to cut all the lawn, have to cut all the grass every week here. So same way as a yogic mind can come lots of things. It doesn't mean that all is a positive. So that was a meditative experience like the summer meadow. There is nothing as it cannot be arise, such as a clairvoyant and so forth. Avoiding pride and arrogance, this is my heart's advice. Then, because of this kind of pride, then what and agreeing with the falsehood. This is not a good translation, I think. Not agreeing falsehood. Maybe like a dopamine, some kind of attachment. Can say, yeah, attachment. So falsehood attachment, falsehood desire. I think maybe better translation that one. So falsehood, it means like then fame, fortune, and power. Those are falsehood desire, falsehood hope. Yeah, those all happen because of the self-grasping. But then like the crop destroyed by frost. So when summer or especially in the falls, early falls or early spring, sometimes frost come and they destroy everything. Fruit never come fruit. That frost destroy everything. So it's like that this kind of a experience and being attached to the wrong way to as it become like false, destroy everything. If dharma, which is meant to be timed mind, because cause of the arrogance, their root of virtue is cut. This is my heart's advice. Root of the virtue. Root of the virtue is something is become a path to the liberation. That is called the root. Any virtue which is become a path of the liberation is called a root virtue. You can see lots of prayer, the root virtue, root virtue. What does root virtue mean? That a virtue which is become a path to the liberation. Yeah, then it's become a root virtue. Like, for example, practice of the generosity. Practice of generosity is not necessarily it become a path to the liberation. But if that practice of the generosity is supported by the intention of a bodhicitta, and practice itself is supported by the free from attachment and hope and fears, and yes, and dedicated by the wisdom of free from three sphere, then it become a path to the liberation. If not supported by them, it's not become a path to the liberation. So that way root virtue means that when that the generosity is really supported by the intention and of the bodhicitta or intention of the renunciation and dedication, then it become dedication of the wisdom, it become a path to the liberation. Then that is called the root of virtue. But if just we do the practice of generosity, it not necessarily can call the root of the virtue. So root virtue is basically something that is a path to the liberation. That's the root virtue. Many times you will see this text, this word, root virtue, root virtue. So root virtue is basically any virtue which is become a path to the liberation that you can use as a root virtue. So it said, destroy become the cause of the arrogance, and root of the virtue is cut. It means that you no longer have that merit is no longer become a path to the liberation. Make sense? So that way it's the root of the cut mean the root of virtue cut mean this. This is my heart's advice. Okay, we stop here. I think enough. I'm tired too. Chanchu semcho Rinpoche manje joje jepa nyamba memba ya kone kondo pewo jo tata konde tam jeje dosundo sabada yebe jewe zawadi tata senje tanje nyundo lana memba yanda bazo be chanjo Rinpoche toba joje jija konse kunjin chujeje tende nela wanda Rinjebe jedembo sedebo shetu tosan gomben zinju ji